obviously, I have to address this 900-pound elephant in the room. Clearly, in the last 24 hours, as you could tell, Ingrid Lewis-Martin, former aide to Eric Adams, his right-hand sister, so to speak, who's been with him probably the longest I know of anyone, was indicted on a new set of charges. So there's a couple of things I'm going to read to you, because then we have the Crumbs and Chips episode of this. You know, the book Crumbs that John McCarthy is working on, the chapters in it never end, because there was another incident on top of this, which is, I can't believe it happened. But you would think what I'm about to tell you is a movie script or it's a movie. No, it's real life. And it's Eric Adams, who he's the best dressed mayor since Jimmy Walker, the most corrupt mayor since Bill O'Dwyer, the most incompetent mayor since Bill de Blasio, the shortest mayor since Abe Beame. And what else could I say about him? So let's just read this. This is from New York One. This is from Erica Brosnan. Mayor Eric Adams, longtime confidant and former chief advisor Ingrid Lewis-Martin was indicted Thursday on new bribery charges. Prosecutors say that between March 2022 and November 2024, Lewis-Martin accepted more than $75,000 in bribes, including $50,000 that went into her son's account in exchange for fast-tracking permit approvals. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office says she also conspired to have the city's Department of Transportation withdraw support for a street redesign of McGinnis Boulevard in Brooklyn, which would have included protected bike lanes in exchange for $2,500 and other benefits, including a speaking role on the TV show Godfather of Harlem. Lewis-Martin, who served as chief advisor to Adams between January 2022 and December 2024, was previously indicted on charges including bribery and conspiracy. Lewis-Martin resigned from the Adams administration last year, but while she is no longer at City Hall, the longtime friend of the mayor is a volunteer for his reelection campaign. There's another volunteer that we're going to discuss in a little bit. Thursday's indictment charges her with 4 counts of fourth-degree conspiracy and 4 counts of second-degree bribery receiving, according to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Her son, Glenn D. Martin II, City Deputy Commissioner of Real Estate Service Jesse Hamilton, a former Democratic state senator, and 6 others were also charged in the indictment. As alleged, Lewis-Martin consistently overrode the expertise of public servants so she could line her own pockets. While she allegedly received more than $75,000 in bribes and an appearance on a TV show, every other New Yorker lost out, Bragg said in a statement. In a statement Wednesday, Lewis-Martin's attorney, Arthur Aidala, same attorney for Jeffrey Epstein associate Steve Bannon and the other Jeffrey Epstein associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, said she would plead not guilty and maintain she has always served the city with integrity. A City Hall spokeswoman on Wednesday said Adams had not been accused of or implicated in any wrongdoing. This is unbelievable, really, and it affects other people. So just so you could see this, we have this clip of her on this show, just so you can see what she was wasting time and money on and what she was trying to do. Here, look at this.
Hi, Grumpy.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going good. Bumpy. You know, seeing that show, that's exactly what Eric Adams' Crumbs crew believe it is. They think it's the 70s in Harlem. So they think that they could just, racketeering, extortion, bribery, all that stuff works. We're going to get to more bribery in a little bit. There's a whole thing with that. So there's another article that I wanted to read to you from the City and State, which involves this, which is even crazier. Okay. So Eric Adams' son made a zombie rap film with Argento's son. Tony and Gene Argento are reportedly going to be indicted by the Manhattan District Attorney Thursday. Their son and nephew, Tony, has an artistic relationship with Jordan Coleman. And Jordan is Eric Adams' son. This is unbelievable. This is from William Bretterman from the City and State. The son of Broadway Stage's co-owner, Tony Argento, who the New York Times reported will be charged Thursday in connection with a corruption scandal involving the Adams administration, produced a vanity film project directed and starring Mayor Eric Adams' son, Jordan Coleman, City and State has found. Coleman's striking back billed as a zombie thriller, was produced by Roland Studios, a firm owned by Anthony Argento, son of Tony and nephew of Broadway Stage's CEO Gina Argento, both reportedly set to face indictment by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Business records show Roland Studios operates out of Broadway Stage's Green Street address in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It is unclear at this time whether the two Scions ties will in any way bear upon Manhattan District Attorney's case against Tony and Gina Argento, nor is there at present any evidence or allegation of wrongdoing by Anthony Argento or Coleman. John Ciaffoni, Gina Argento's lawyer, told City and State he knew of no plan for Anthony Argento to surrender himself with his father and aunt. Ciaffoni, however, did say he believed the indictment pertained to the family's push to stop a bike-friendly redesign of McGinnis Boulevard, which he characterized as a First Amendment issue. The city reported in 2023 that Anthony Argento contributed to the Klan's Keep McGinnis movement campaign, which briefly succeeded in blocking the proposal with the help of Ingrid Lewis-Martin, indicted in December, set to face additional charges. The Times reported last year that Bragg's investigators seized Gina Argento's phone and noted that she had multiple meetings with Lewis-Martin. In 2022, Adams appointed Gina Argento to his newly created Film and Television Production Industry Council, intended to provide recommendations regarding city support for the movie and TV industry. Records also show Broadway Stages has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars lobbying city government during Adams' tenure. Attempts to reach Coleman by phone proved unsuccessful and did not immediately respond to an email. A person who answered the phone at a number listed for Anthony Argento hung up. An email sent to inboxes at Roland Studios received no reply as of publishing. Roland Studios, which specializes in bringing Asian films into the American market, does not feature striking back on its website. However, the director of photography in the project listed Roland Studios as its producer, as did co-star and film composer Kenneth Wilson on a social media post, allowing himself posing in front of a backdrop featuring the Roland Studios and Broadway Stage's logo. A film of a clip of the film, Coleman, who also raps under the moniker J.O., posted to YouTube, shows that also co-stars his uncle, Bernard Adams, Eric Adams' brother, who formerly served as the mayor's head of security. The New York Post reported on the project in 2023, and the tabloid credited Roland Studios for stills featured in the article. The Post did not report Roland Studios' ownership nor its connection to Broadway Stage's or the Argento family. It did, however, say that the film cost $10,000 that Coleman scrapped together and shot on Staten Island. Roland Studios' website does not list any Staten Island locations, but Broadway Stages controls the former Arthur Kill Correctional Facility in the borough and rents it out as a filming location. That's interesting. New York City Campaign Finance Board records show Anthony Argento donated $2,000 to Adams' campaign in late 2022 and the McGinnis Boulevard fight. So this is quite a web we weave here. So first of all, looking at this indictment, because it also has Tony and Gina Argento, clearly there's a quid pro quo there, pay for play, whatever you want to call it, with Ingrid Lewis-Martin. I know her son's involved in this too, but my problem here, Alvin Bragg, is you stop short, because this is a RICO case. It's RICO. And the big fish, the one everybody wants, the man, I mean, let's put it like this. The $75,000 Ingrid Lewis-Martin was involved in, Jesse Hamilton's involved in this. Does this benefit them, or does it benefit their boss, the mayor? Eric Adams not being on this indictment is the same thing that happened when Damian Williams, who had credit with indicting Eric Adams, but in that case was a RICO case, and it left everyone else off and just narrowed in on Eric Adams. We know that there was Tim Pearson involved there. There's people involved in that the building department commissioner office. There were all kinds of people involved in that Turkish money laundering scheme that they had with Eric Adams. Yet they only put Eric Adams on an indictment. Damian Williams also did this with Ghislaine Maxwell, right? They indicted Ghislaine Maxwell in a RICO case, which she's doing all these things for who? Just herself? Clearly there were other people involved. So it stops short of who really is pulling the strings behind the scenes. So we'll credit Alvin Bragg for actually doing his job here, but it falls short. Eric Adams, you read this, he's clearly involved in this, yet he's not indicted. And it's unbelievable. But it's what? It is an indictment on Eric Adams and his administration. Yet more people getting indicted, getting in trouble, not all over the place.